Okay. All right. I'm gonna bring this up and see if it's working on here. Let's see. What did I do last time with this volume? Live now. Okay. Okay, it's up. Is this thing recording? This thing's not recording yet, though. Alright, so the live stream's up, but we're not actually recording the podcast yet.
Can you trim it?
I'm not gonna trim it.
Alright.
Let's leave it as is.
Hey.
Alright, so the live stream's up. Let me, there are people in here. Let me turn this volume down so it's not gonna interfere with what we're doing. And I'll get Audacity up.
As you guys notice, I cannot see the screen, so
I won't look at the screen much once we're actually going
I
here.
don't we have to read people's comments?
I'll look at them.
You'll just tell
I'll
me
just
what they're
glance at
saying.
it every once in a while. You know, you don't need to see them. Don't worry about it. You can always bring it up on your phone.
Mike is being a real douche. Yeah.
Don't say that.
Well, that's what you would say,
Yeah.
but you would be telling me that
Okay.
people were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Maybe I'll try and bring it
Well,
up.
well, you gotta get the music ready first.
Okay, I do have it. Okay.
Hi, Keaton and Brody.
Hey. All right. Let me know when.
Let me do this. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
No, I didn't say yes.
Shoot.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Do, 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 do. They can't hear that though. The
that's
people
right.
on the live stream can't hear the music.
We gotta
Hey,
hook that up
everybody.
somehow.
It's the 150th episode of Action Features. You're here right now. This is going crazy on this. You think it's okay?
Probably.
It's probably fine. It's kind of going a little crazy. I'm going to back this up
That's
a little bit.
okay.
Back this up a little bit. Alright, so it's the 150th episode of Action Features. We're doing a YouTube live stream as we do the show. Let's see, we've got a couple comments up already.
What are people talking about?
Let's see. So far, Alpha Tryon 92 has asked a question that is going to be something we're going to be covering.
Okay.
List. So Alpha Tryon, it is going to be on here about the Mattel thing. And then Dr. G. Horror has asked me no Christmas video this year.
Doctor Who?
I post a Christmas. I used to post a Christmas video every single year on YouTube.
Okay.
And the last couple of years we haven't done it because Gracie's so young, and it's kind of tough to wrangle everything into a video. So we didn't do one this year, but maybe we'll post one next year. I don't know. So, all right, cool. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about, and I'm sure there'll be some stuff that pops up in the live stream as people show up on YouTube, and we'll talk about those things as they come up.
Okay.
Right?
That's right.
All right, let's do it.
Listen, it's 150th
It's
episode.
150 episodes.
150. 150.
150.
How did we do it?
I don't know how we did it.
People come up to me and they say, Mike, how did you do it? How did you do 150? And I say, I don't know. Perseverance, dedication.
Do people actually do that though?
Well,
I don't think they actually do that.
well,
That seems inaccurate.
maybe it happens.
Maybe it happens,
I
maybe
won't
it didn't
say.
happen.
I won't say.
You won't say. Okay. But we haven't done this longer than like anything else we've ever done.
That's right.
You know, like usually you and I will have an idea for something, we'll be into it and we'll go, we're gonna do this thing, and then we don't ever do it. But this we actually did.
We did it.
And we've done it for like, what is this, the 60th year we're doing it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's a 60.
Uh,
Also, we had this idea to do it, and then we didn't do it, and then we came back and did it.
yeah, then we came back to do it.
So we also didn't do this.
We also didn't do it,
And
but then we did
But
it.
then we did it.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you got? You got some stuff written down?
I have only a couple things. I'm way out of the loop.
All right.
I did bring some saltwater taffy.
there's those muffin top cookies in there.
Muffin top cookies?
They're in that thing, so just be careful if you decide to go over there.
Which
though.
do I have first?
I don't know. man.
The taffy or the cookie? Seems like the cookie would be more of a meal, and then the taffy is sort of a dessert. You have that after. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, do that.
I'm not gonna do it yet. I'm not ready.
Alphatron92 says, love the live stream. Congrats to 150 episodes.
Thank you.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you.
We're just now coming up on the time where I said it would start, so there's going to be possibility that some people will show up.
Hey.
Right around this time.
That's fine.
I have some stuff written down. I don't want to start going too crazy until some more people show up, so I'm going to try and pick out things that aren't as
James, don't go crazy.
interesting. I'm not going to go crazy. A couple of celebrity deaths
Yeah,
just
there's
yesterday.
one on mine.
Super Dave Osborne.
Super Dave. That's a bummer.
I used to love watching Super Dave Osborne when I was a kid.
So funny.
Those videos are so funny, man. I wanted to go back and watch them last night and I fell asleep.
My favorite is where he's playing the piano on top of the bus, and it's this big long setup, and he's playing this. He's up there, he's playing the song, and then they go under an underpass, and it totally smashes the piano and knocks him off.
I don't remember that.
Oh, it's
But he would always have the
It's
great,
classic.
"Whoa!"
Yeah,
like his
yeah.
voice was great for it. You remember there was a cartoon? There was a Super Dave cartoon,
Yeah,
and it was just the same stuff,
right.
but it was like opening Super Dave out to a younger audience. And then Mean Gene Okerlund died.
Yeah.
The wrestling announcer?
Yeah.
Like the best wrestling announcer. I guess interviewer? I don't think he was really an announcer, but he was more of an interview guy of like all time.
Yeah.
One of the best, if you ever want to see an awesome wrestling promo with Mean Gene, you should look up the Macho Man Hulk Hogan one, where the Mega Powers get together for the first time. The exchange between Hogan and Macho is great. Macho like twirls into scene. Like he's coming in as the camera comes on and he's like twirling like, ooh yeah. Like he's like twirling into the interview. And they're going to shake hands, but it looks like they're in pain to shake hands, or they're afraid of the power of shaking their hands. So like Macho's holding his hand like this and going, ooh, and Hogan's going like this as they're going to shake hands. And they're cutting this promo, and he's asking about like getting a hit on the head, and Macho's saying there's nothing wrong with his head, and Hogan jumps in and says, "Don't you worry about the hit on the head, brother." It's so good, man. You have to look up this promo. It's the best ever. Okay. So that was a bummer on those two. And then
That's a bummer.
the captain of Captain and Tennille. I guess he was the captain?
Okay.
Was he the captain?
I don't know.
I guess the captain.
Is Tennille a woman?
I don't know.
Sounds like a woman's name to me.
I guess I'm being sexist by assuming that the man is the captain.
Well, you only have two options. There's Tennille and then
there's the captain.
And Tennille sounds like a woman's name.
I want to say that
It's not
he
sexist.
wore like a captain's hat too. In the
well,
picture I saw.
that would be the telltale sign.
So maybe that's why I'm thinking of it. It's not because a sexist thing. It's because I remember him wearing a captain's hat.
It's capist.
It is capist.
He's wearing the hat.
Yes. So that's probably what it.
He's got the captain's hat.
He's got the captain's hat on, so I assume he's the captain.
It's hattest.
Okay. It's hattest.
Very hattest, man.
Did you get one of those out? Is that what you
No,
got?
I haven't yet, but I'd switch chairs.
Oh, then you should have got those out while you were up. All right, so not a lot of people here yet.
That's okay.
I don't want to. Let's just go in like a regular episode. If people show up, they show up.
That's why we have to play it because
We gotta do it.
you know.
Let me do this real quick here. All right. Okay. Bucky O'Hare toys. I forgot to bring one today.
Looky.
My friend Kenny got me the new boss fight Bucky O'Hare for Christmas, and now I'm totally invested.
Yeah.
I said, go ahead and pick me up, because he knows a guy that gets him from Boss Fight. I said, go ahead and get me the Dead-Eye Duck and the Jenny. I mean,
Yeah.
it was so cool. The figure is so well done. And even though Bucky O'Hare wasn't like a big thing for me growing up, like I wasn't way into it, and it's kind of quickly gone. Bucky
Yeah.
O'Hare was. I always thought the character was interesting, and the idea was interesting, and I liked the way the toy line. They kind of designed, or Larry Hama designed the characters so that there would be toys later on. So he did things like put pegs on the belts and had holes in their feet so that the toys, if they ever did get made, would look like the designs. And there wouldn't be a change between the designs of the characters and the toys. I thought that was really interesting.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a cool idea. And they've carried all that stuff forward to this toy line. The figure's awesome. Bucky is so cool, man. The packaging, it has this cool where you can slide the card back out and take the bubble out and put everything back together again. I really like that. But man, way cool, man.
Maybe one day I'll get one.
Maybe one day you'll get one,
I don't know.
or maybe you'll just check out the one I've got.
Maybe I'll look at yours.
Maybe you'll just check out mine. Collect vicariously through me on those.
I will.
All right, you want to keep going on stuff, or I think the Mattel thing's on both of ours.
Yeah, it is.
Do you want to save that though?
We'll
for
save it.
More people
We'll save it.
chime in.
Holmes and Watson bombs. I heard
I'm
that.
not surprised. It looks
I
awful.
heard people walking out of the theater.
I heard the same thing. I was talking to Bobby about
And
this.
sometimes, somebody's going to walk out of a theater.
Yeah.
But this sounds like there was a mass exodus. It makes, from what I heard, it sounded like there's a lot of people walking out.
Yeah, it sounds like that. It's actually like a major problem of
Yeah.
people walking out. Like it's not. I mean, like you said, you've heard of people walking out of a movie theater before, but I've never seen it like reported about people walking out of showings. Just the trailers alone, the trailers looked so unfunny. Like it didn't look good to me.
Not funny.
It looked very unfunny. Speaking of the theater, we went to see Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse on Sunday. And we went to, first of all, that movie was awesome. It was great. Like, when we were thinking about going to see it, like Gracie's really into Spider-Ham. She likes
Spider-Ham?
Spider-Ham. Yeah, Peter Porker, Spider-Ham.
Okay, yeah.
So she really likes that character. And she said she wants to go see this movie. And so I talked to Bobby. I'm like, we could go as a whole family, like ever to go see it. We could take her to the movie theaters too. Because she's gone to see a couple movies now. She's 4, so it's a little tough to wrangle her to see movies. But if she's into the movie, she'll be calm and quiet and watch it. So we've seen like The Grinch. We saw Christopher Robin. And we were going to see Spider-Verse. And I said, okay, she can probably handle it. Let's just go as a family. And Bobby's like, I don't really know if I want to go see a Spider-Man movie. I'm not really interested in seeing a Spider-Man movie. I said, well, let's go check it out. I hear it's really good. Let's all go.
Let's
So we
check it
went.
out. Let's check it out.
Let's check it out. And she really enjoyed it. Like after the movie was over, I thought it was great, but I was kind of wondering what she would think. I turned to her afterwards and I was like, what do you think? And she said, I really liked that. And Bobby won't often watch a movie more than one time, but she was already saying like, I could actually watch that a second time. Like I could see this movie more than one time. It was so good. The animation was good, the story was good, the voice acting was good. It was just an all-around really good movie. But getting back to what I was saying, so we were going to go see it, and it's been out a few weeks at this point. We were going to go see it at the Westchester AMC. And it was like a Sunday at like 1 o'clock showing. And other movies came out this weekend too, and I don't remember which ones came out, but there were some other movies that came out. And Aquaman's out. And we thought, oh, there won't be any problem us getting 5 seats. It's not a big deal, and it's half an hour before the movie starts. And we went up, and they were like, oh yeah, there's the only seats left are the front row. And so they showed us the seats we could choose, and they're like, we're not sitting in the front row. That's not happening. But when I saw the layout of the seats, I was like, wow, this is not that many seats. Like the theater doesn't hold as much.
What did you say this was AMC?
It was AMC.
So they have the big seats.
They have the
in there.
big seats and the lounging thing, and the seats move and everything. Hang on one sec. I'm gonna link this on Facebook real quick. So they don't have as many seats because they do all that stuff, and it got me thinking. So then we went to the Cobb, a different theater. It got me thinking that maybe that are people there are less people going to theaters now.
Yeah.
So they've got to increase the experience and the ticket prices because they know they're not going to sell as many tickets. So is that one of the things that's moving towards this, where it's more of a luxury experience because they know they're charging a lot and they have less of an audience that are coming to it. So cut down the amount of seats, increase the experience and the overall comfort of going as a trade-off.
Very
feel
well,
like that's
very
what's
well
happening?
could be. I mean, what did I see there? We saw Mission Impossible there, and I can't remember. Well, they have the upgrade, so they only have so many theaters now that are just like regular theaters. And then they have the upgrade, which is Dolby Sound or Dolby Surround Sound or something. But it's not the directors, it's not the IMAX, it's not the big one. It's just the Dolby Sound.
Yeah.
And those are more expensive. and they have, but that's all that there is.
That's all there is.
You have like one theater, and if that's sold out, then you have to go to the other one.
Yeah.
But they don't list it as a special thing. So if you go to the website and you check, what do you have? Well, we've got this show. Showing's at 11 o'clock. Okay. Yeah, well,
I guess that's
guess
it.
what? Guess what? It's $14.
That's rough.
Whatever it was. I think it was. I think it might have been 14.
So that's got to be the move to it, because they wouldn't just go and make all these special seats and cut down on their seating if they didn't know that, hey, our audience is dwindling, we've got to increase the experience. Because it really was amazing to me how few seats there were inside that theater. I think back to theaters even 5-6 years ago, where it was just a massive amount of seats in there.
Yeah, you
Just
want
a
to pack in as
massive
many people
amount.
as you can.
And I'm looking at the layout for where you choose your seats, and it's like, man, this row is like 10 seats. There's like just 10 seats in this. There's probably 10 rows.
Yeah.
You're gonna fit 100 people in here. That's it. The theaters before, man, it felt like there was 100 people in your row.
Oh,
You know,
they were
like it
packed.
felt like there were so many seats inside there that it would be almost impossible to fill them all.
We were basically sitting on each other's laps.
You're just basically hanging out on each other's laps right now. Is what you're doing.
Right now we are.
Right now. In case anybody's watching this, you can see us sitting in each other's laps right now. Yeah, so overall, to me it's cool that we're getting this more luxurious experience at the movie theaters, but I think it's a sign that of things that are maybe bad, because
Yeah.
if it's getting to the point where you're only expecting to sell 100 tickets to a movie theater screening, how much longer are movie theaters going to stick it out?
I don't know.
What else can you do to the experience?
I think you just have to want the experience already. I don't know if you can be sold the experience. I mean, I guess you can for a little bit, but that's what they keep doing with 3D. You know, 3D is a gimmick to get people to want to go to the theaters. But
Yeah.
the people who want to go to the theaters for the big screen experience are already going.
Yeah.
But it's just most people aren't doing that. And now there's a lot of competition with Netflix. Netflix is putting out all their own movies. And now they're getting big stars to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, there's also illegal downloads too that are going on. So people aren't going to the movie theater when they can just stay on at home and see a brand new movie for nothing, you know?
There's that too. I think there's always been, bootlegs have been sort of competition. It's probably increased with
Yeah.
the internet. But
I will say though that if I'm going, I'm gonna have to spend this much money to go. I mean, we spent probably $80
Yeah.
for all of us to go and have a snack. If I am gonna spend that much, it would have stunk to have been in the theater with a bunch of these old tiny seats packed together. I look back at seeing, I mean, it's even recent, but going to see,
Cabin Fever.
no, not Cabin Fever.
Hmm.
That was a fun experience when we saw that. When we saw the latest Planet of the Apes, and there was a person behind me, and it was in the old style seating, and they talked the entire movie. And it was like the worst movie experience I could imagine. And I spent the same amount of money or close to it then, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
This, you know, if people are moved far enough away with those spaced out seatings, I didn't notice anybody talking. I'm sure people
They
were.
might not have been.
I'm sure they were.
Maybe they
But
said,
then again, you're
we've
spending
got-
this much money.
Right.
Maybe you're not going to talk anymore. I don't know. But I thought it was interesting just to see the change of the way things were between the way theaters were before and the way they are now.
people are enjoying movies from their home, and now they're trying to bring the home to the theater.
Yeah,
The couch.
they're bringing the couch.
You like sitting on the couch?
You like being able to kick back in your lazy boys?
You like to relax at the
You like
theater?
that?
You like to relax at home?
Well, you're
guess
gonna
what?
be able to
Now
do
you can
that
relax
here.
at theater.
Relax in the theater.
Next thing you know, they're gonna have a
Your
bath-
mom there
a-
cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smells from,
Yeah.
from the kitchen coming through.
You guys need any more snacks up there?
Right.
That's what she'll be saying.
There'll just be a voice
Yeah.
that they've recorded.
That they've recorded,
Yeah.
and they'll want you to go buy concessions.
Yeah.
All right.
The smell of
There's not that many people showing up for the live stream, so we'll just keep going like a regular episode.
That's what we have to do.
I don't even see much comments happening, so I don't know if there's something going on or what, but even like the kids who are watching, I'm not seeing a lot from them, so there could be something actually up with the live stream. I don't know.
It's, well,
So we'll
It
just keep
shows.
going. I mean, this stuff will record and show either way.
mine says it started streaming 2 minutes ago. That can't be right.
Yeah, the stream must be messing up or something. I mean, it keeps showing on here.
I'm gonna refresh it.
Go ahead and refresh it on your end. Blaze says it's working. Okay, he's on there. So it's working. It just haven't, a lot of people haven't showed up.
19 minutes ago.
Oh well. We'll just keep going with the regular episode here.
Who cares?
Oh, Nate Bauer's here.
All
He's looking good, sounding good.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
He's on there. All right, so it's 2019 now, which means the summer of '89 was 30 years ago. Yeah, man, 30 years ago. Well, that's that. So, how's that feel, man? '89 was 30 years ago.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I was thinking about, the stuff that came out that summer and how it still feels fresh to me, and that stuff is 30 years old.
Yeah.
Like, if I could go back to the summer of '89 and think about my mindset then and stuff that was 30 years ago then, I was like, that stuff is way old. I don't even care about that stuff that's so old.
It was.
It was way old.
I've talked about this on here. The 30 years now is not
Yeah.
the same as 30 years
Mm-mm.
before. So you could remake a movie that was 30 years old back in the 50s
Yeah.
because, well, yeah, they were making movies in the 20s, so because you hadn't been inundated with it.
No,
You saw it in the theater when you were a kid and then it went away.
it went
What
away.
happened to it? We don't know.
It's gone.
It's in a can sitting on the shelf.
Somebody lost it.
Once in a while they bring it out to the theater. Now, you've had Batman '89 sitting on your shelf for the entirety
It's
of
been
your life.
there.
You pull it out, you watch it whenever you want, and before
Yeah.
you know it, 30 years is over.
It's gone. Gone. 30 years, man. So there's so many things that came out that summer that I'm looking at now and I'm going, wow, I've had 30 years to watch this thing and it still feels
Last Crusade.
fresh and new. Last Crusade, Ghostbusters 2,
Die Hard.
Batman, obviously. Even Star Trek V, The Final Frontier came out that year. I think it was so much fun. And I try to think of things that come out now and how they'll be 30 years from now. And will it be as classic? Will it be as rewatchable?
You and I can't tell.
We can't
It
tell.
has to be a kid
Yeah.
who's having these experiencing these things for the first time, and they also aren't having the same experience that we had. Because even
Exactly.
though we had home video, now there's so much competition with video games and
Yeah. And iPods and
phones
everything.
and the iPads and the iPods, the
iWorlds,
phones,
their eyeballs.
their iVideo games, things like that.
Yeah.
Ah,
Real quick, Bill Tackett's here. Hi, Bill.
all right, Bill.
Nate Bauer says License to Kill came out that year. That's true. Forgot about that.
That's true.
And I rewatched the Timothy Dalton Bonds recently. Those are so underrated.
They are.
I think they're both really solid Bond movies. Really solid.
Yeah, Nate just rewatched those too, and we were talking about them, and
T-Dalt is the Bond that people should really be looking back at and going, you know what, I wish we'd got more out of him. I wish we got a few less Roger Moores and a few
yeah.
more Timothy
Oh,
Daltons.
yeah. I would take some more Timothy Daltons. The movies didn't separate themselves enough to me. There wasn't like Thunderball's water themed and Dr.
Yeah.
No's on an island, and they had very specific themes. And then by the time they got to there, it was kind of muddled. And there were a few Roger Moore movies like that, but it takes nothing away from Timothy Dalton as James Bond, and he's the only one that I remember hearing of who said, "I read all those books.
Yeah.
I love those books. This is how I feel the character needs to be. I'm trying to play it like the book."
He was great. He was really great. And my dad, he's a big Bond fan, but he doesn't like Timothy Dalton. And I look back at it and I'm like, how can you not like Timothy Dalton as Bond? Like, he was so good, man. He may not have the charm of Connery and maybe the real clean, good looks as some of the other guys. But man, I think he's super solid. He's definitely in the top 4 Bonds for me.
Mm.
Like it's man, he's really good.
Mm.
Really good. Go back and watch those 2 films again, anybody that's watching this. I'm going to catch up on here real quick.
Do it.
Mr. Indie Film Man says happy 100th, and then he says also and 50.
Hey,
So
all right,
he
too.
put them together. And Iron Bison says License to Kill is one of the best. And Mr. Indie Film Man says in 30 years, The Last Jedi will have been edited in a new film or banned. That's probably likely.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, The Phantom Menace is 20 years old this year.
I don't like that.
That's
either.
nuts.
Come on.
Let's see. Brent Klein, hey, what's up, man? Roger Moore is my favorite Bond, but License to Kill is tied for my favorite movie with Skyfall from Iron Bison.
Wow.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
wait a
piece
second.
there.
Roger Moore's your favorite Bond, but you don't have one of your favorite movies, isn't? Skyfall and.
Oh, I mean,
I
you
get
could
it.
like the his
Well,
portrayal.
here's my question then. What's your favorite Roger Moore movie?
That seems like a pretty easy answer to me, but I'm
It's an easy
curious to
answer
see
for
what
me.
they say. And Nate says he plays Bond. he played it as Bond acted in Living Daylights book, which is accurate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got on a Bond tangent there. That was kind of fun.
I like a Bond
I'm glad
tangent.
Nate
I
brought
just
that up.
watched Never Say Never Again, the unofficial.
Yeah, the
Bond
unofficial
movie.
Connery.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
It's fun.
It was fun to see how they got around all of Bond's tropes.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have a PPK, he has a gun that kind of looks like a PPK, and, they couldn't use Spectre, I think, or they couldn't use Blofeld. I can't remember which one they didn't have rights to, but I think it was Spectre.
I think you're right.
And they didn't have Bond music
Yeah.
to use as a cue, so it was very creative, and the opening sequence is fantastic.
I mean, it's a better send-off for him than
I agree.
Diamonds Are Forever
Yeah, I agree.
was. Diamonds Are Forever is
Yeah.
kind of rough to watch.
Kim
But
Basinger,
Never Say Never Again, I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it.
I liked it a lot.
I enjoyed it.
I liked it a lot more than I used to.
This guy says, I'm sorry, Iron Bison says, love Moore's interpretation of the suave debonair Bond. Bond to me is supposed to be charming. That's fair, you know?
You haven't picked a movie yet.
But what's your favorite Roger Moore Bond film? Let's hear that. Okay, while we're waiting to hear back from that, Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die.
That's the right answer.
That's the right.
That's the right answer.
That's the right one. Yeah.
Yeah, Live and Let Die is by far the best Roger Moore.
That's in my top. That's probably my top.
I want to go back and see that scene, The Spy Who Loved Me, where he's, where they're, from the thing, he's looking at her like, you forgive me?
Oh, man. I forgot about that.
They gotta go back and look at that again. It's too good. Alright, okay, so let's talk about Soulja Boy's video game systems. Have you heard about this?
What?
Okay, you remember Soulja Boy,
I
right?
remember
Soulja Boy
hearing
tells.
about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember he tells him.
He's a singer-songwriter of the rap variety.
I know he tells him.
He tells him, Soulja Boy tell him. Well, apparently he decided to get into the video game industry, and on his Soulja Boy website, he was selling Soulja Boy game consoles. And these were basically Chinese knockoff systems where they take, they take a bunch of video games, which you see all the time, where people, put on a Raspberry Pi, they put a bunch of video games, like 800 games, onto this disc, right? And you could play it on something. So there's these Chinese bootlegs where they actually make game systems that are preloaded with 800 video games from various systems. They do it in a portable version and a home console version, and they sell these things on like AliExpress or Alibaba. These different websites where you can get Chinese stuff imported for super cheap because it's all knockoff and none of it's licensed. So Soulja Boy decides he's going to start selling these things on his site at double the price.
I love this already.
Where you would buy it from anywhere else. Like if you bought it from Alibaba or you bought it off Amazon, even from these Chinese sellers, you'd be paying $50 a system, but he's charging $150 a system or $200 a system, and they're supposedly branded by, they're the Soulja console and the Soulja handheld. And so a lot of these gaming people were like, I know what he's doing here, but I still gotta know. So they would order these systems and they'd find out, these are just these Chinese knockoff systems.
Slap a sticker on it
Yeah,
or something?
even, I don't think it has a sticker on there.
No,
Like the
doesn't-
one I saw,
Doesn't have his name or anything?
they didn't have anything on there. So they get these systems, they're junk systems, but it's fine because you're playing old Nintendo games. But everybody kept saying like, aren't you just like, you're ripping off Nintendo, dude. You're going to get busted. And he was on these tirades on Twitter saying, Nintendo, I sold 5 million units of my console.
5 million.
And then he was saying he was going to open his own Soulja Tech store, and it's gone so well for him. So he's and they said Nintendo's going to come after you because they just came after this couple that did like a free upload of games, and they sued him for $12 million. Nintendo did. And they're like, they're going to come after you. And he's like, Nintendo ain't coming after me. I ain't got nothing to worry about. I'm going to keep them up and all this different stuff and calling people names and all this stuff. And so Nintendo then decided to go after him. And so now all the Soulja consoles are off of his website, and he had to make a post on Twitter like, I had to man up and do what was right for myself or something. And so basically he's going to get sued by Nintendo for all the consoles that he said. He took down the tweet also where he said he sold 5 million units of his game systems. Because Nintendo's going to go, oh, you sold 5 million units at $300 a piece? Yeah, we're going to want all that money.
Yeah.
So, Soulja, the Soulja console.
He's going to tell him.
He told him.
He's telling him.
Soulja Boy sell him. That's what he was doing. And then now they want the money. All right, let me get caught up in this live stream real quick here. you guys are gonna judge me hard, but A View to a Kill is my second favorite Moore film.
That's okay.
That's fine. You can like whatever you want, man.
If I remember correctly, forgive me, View to a Kill, I mean, all the Moore films start running together after Man with the Golden Gun.
Yeah.
But I think A View to the Kill was one of the better ones.
I don't know if it was.
I can't remember.
I don't know if it was. But either way, everybody is welcome to choose whatever favorites you like.
Yeah.
You know?
We're not going to be mad at
Yeah,
you,
that's
so-
you like what you want, man. I mean, my favorite my favorite Batman is the 1989 Batman. A lot of people don't agree with that, and I will never stop saying it's the best. Bill Tackett says Goldfinger was the first Bond I recall watching with my dad. Number one classic Bond film for me. It is also my number one classic Bond film. It's Goldfinger. It's impossible to beat, in my opinion.
Everything came together.
Everything's perfect.
Yeah.
From Russia with Love is really good,
Yeah.
and Casino Royale is really good.
Yeah.
But Iron Bison says mostly because of Walk-In, Moore's Swan Song, and the BA theme by Duran Duran. The theme was great. The Duran Duran theme is one of my favorites when I listen to like the Bond themes.
It's a good one.
Andrew Hardin Mills is actually Mr. Indie Film Man. I didn't realize that was him. I watched Superman 3 today. Best scene is when Craig rips his shirt open to reveal that S in the junkyard are defeating evil Superman. So good. That's out of nowhere, but yeah, that is very accurate. That is so good. Superman 3 gets a bad rap too.
Yeah.
I like Superman 3.
It's fun.
The end sequence is rough with the giant computer and the robot girl. I think Richard Pryor's funny in it. I think Richard
Well, Richard
Pryor.
Pryor's funny, yeah.
And the junkyard scene's awesome. Evil Superman, that's great.
Yeah.
It's way better than Superman 4.
Hey, I gotta watch that again. Andrew, what'd you think of The Rocketeer, buddy? He told me he rewatched The Rocketeer recently.
He'll chime in with that in a second here.
All right.
He's saying would love to hear us do a commentary for Superman the movie, and I would love to do a
I would
commentary
love to
for
do
Superman
that
the movie.
as well.
That's fine with me. Let's see. Iron Bison says it's regarded as the worst Moore Bond film, as he was regarded as too old for the role and the thin plot by then, but it's his guilty pleasure.
Which one?
For View to a Kill.
Oh,
And he was pretty
he was older, yeah.
long in the tooth. Is that the same?
Long in the tooth, yes.
By then?
Yeah.
But what can you do?
Hey,
All right.
he was going.
Okay, I think I'm caught up on here. What do you have written down? You're gonna keep holding on to that one that we both have.
That's all I've got. I have one thing written down.
Is it about Soldier Boy consoles?
No, it's,
Oh.
well, let me see. No, it's not about that. Elizabeth Hurley.
Yeah.
Just stop. Stop already,
What'd she
please.
do?
Mercy. Uncle.
What'd she
Uncle. She keeps posting every week, every time I turn around, Elizabeth Hurley's got a new bikini picture on Yahoo. She's like in her 50s, and she looks great. And now
Alright.
the first thing is 2019, first bikini pic of the year, Elizabeth Hurley.
It's January. Put some clothes on.
It's the first. Well, she's in a tropical setting, I guess.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know where she lives, but for Pete's sake,
All
just-
right.
Okay, keep going. Keep going, I guess, but
I guess it was worth mentioning.
it's worth mentioning.
It's worth
yeah.
mentioning that this is happening over here.
Yeah, but it's kind
Hugh
of
Grant and her were together. Remember that?
I know.
And then Hugh Grant did something bad.
Hugh Grant.
Somebody he shouldn't have done anything with.
He shouldn't have, and I think it was not. It wasn't even in the same ballpark, so I don't know what.
Yeah.
He probably just thought, I'm tired of having the best thing in the world.
Yeah, I gotta downgrade so that I could see what I really have, and then it backfired big time.
Yeah.
You know, then it was over pretty much. Hugh Grant.
Hugh
I've
Grant.
been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, I watched the first episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when it came on, and I thought, this isn't very good. I don't really enjoy this very much. It's not a very good show. But now it's been on Netflix for a while, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to give this another go.
Mhm.
And the first episode was still like, man, this isn't very good. But as the first season went on, I got really hooked in, man. And now I'm like, I can't stop watching it. Like, I'll try and get a couple in each day.
Well, how many seasons are
There's
there?
5 seasons.
You're gonna knock that out quick, though.
The first season's done. But it was like 24 episodes the first season, and they're like an hour each.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got enough.
But the first season, man, it was great.
Yeah.
And towards the end, it got really good. Like, I couldn't stop. I had to know what was happening next. I was so invested towards the end there. And Bill Paxton's in it.
Bill
That
Paxton.
first season, yeah. Rest in peace, Bill Paxton.
Rest in peace.
And he was great.
Bill Paxton's always great.
He's really great.
I've never seen him in something that I didn't like. That reminds me, I would like to watch Agent Carter for some reason.
Yeah,
You
I don't
can't.
know if that's on Netflix or not.
It's not.
It's not?
Well, as far as I know.
That was only one season. Was it one season or
I
two
think they
seasons?
did 2 seasons.
2 seasons.
But they won't release it. But that also reminds me that I saw the girl who plays Agent Carter was in an episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah.
I mean, this show's been on for a while, I guess, but Netflix has it now, and it's like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I've watched a couple. There's some weird ones.
Man, it's a little bit heady.
I tell you
A
what.
little bit heady.
My I don't know if I mentioned this on the show or not, but my wife's friend Heather, she recommended the show.
Heather Heat.
No, not Heather Heat. Heather Henson.
Okay.
Different Heather. She recommended the show, and the first one she wanted us to watch was this one where the Prime Minister has to do something on film with
On something unsavory.
unsavory.
Yeah.
And it was unsettling to watch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why in the world would she recommend this episode first? Like, it's like the worst one to watch.
Yeah.
And immediately I was like, I don't know if I can watch. I felt just weird after watching. I was like, I don't know if I can watch this show anymore. This is
We watched a couple.
disturbing.
And it's like morbidly interesting.
Yeah.
And then it does. You feel a little soiled after.
Yeah, I did. I
Kinda
felt
like,
very.
Man, that's a little bit.
I can't watch
That's
this.
terrible. The Twilight Zone is twisted, but
But not unsettling.
only in a curious way, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's really strange.
This
and-
was unsettling.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to watch again after that. Let's see.
Has Elizabeth Hurley commented on there yet, or?
No, she hasn't said anything.
Huh.
She hasn't said anything.
Shoot.
But let's see. Andrew says Rocketeer was great. I've forgotten most of it. Almost 30 years since I last saw it. When he puts the helmet on and flies, it's so good.
Yeah.
And then Nate says, gotta love those traditional effects. Another great one for T-Dalt. Watching number 2 box office draw in the country. Yeah, T-Dalt's in Rocketeer.
That's right.
And he's the bad guy. He
That's
takes
right.
the bad guy turn, which is, he's great as the bad guy.
He looks good with a mustache.
Yeah, he looks like Tony Stark.
Looks like Tony Stark.
And that's, Eric Meador did that
Yes.
Iron Man art, and he used
Yes.
T-Dalt as inspiration on it. And
Yes, which was fantastic.
T-Dalt as Iron Man.
Yeah.
As Tony Stark, that would have been perfect.
Shouldn't have done that.
Okay, so I have written down, I don't still want to get into that just yet. Talked about that. I guess we can jump into that. The big thing.
We could get into the big
The
thing.
big
I don't
news.
have anything else, but
The big news going around right now is
Elizabeth Hurley's posted another bikini pic.
it's January.
and It's January.
I
and
can't believe she's doing that in January.
Hugh Grant is kicking himself in the face.
Yeah, I don't know how he's doing it. He's asking somebody else. He's
He's
getting
got
that girl
flexible.
again. He's paid her now to kick him in the face.
Would you mind?
Would you mind terribly love kicking me in the face repeatedly? That's not even his voice, I don't think. Was
No.
that Cockney? Is that what that was?
Sort of. That was sort of.
I don't know what that was. So the big news right now is Mattel apparently losing the DC license
Yeah.
to Spin Master in 2020, but only the boys' action portion. They can still do girl stuff, and they could do, I guess, educational stuff or something.
The stuff-
But the boys' action
Yeah.
category, which is what most people care about when it comes to the DC license, is going to Spin Master. And at first, everybody's like, oh, well, it's just saying Spin Master is going to do remote control cars and that kind of stuff.
No.
But the more it looks, it's like the whole boys' action category, which include action figures.
Yeah.
Maybe Spin Master isn't known for doing action figures, but to me, the boys' action category includes action figures.
It has to.
And the more people talk about it, the more it sounds like it does include action figures.
Yeah.
There's been, I don't think, any kind of word from Mattel about it as to clarifying what's going on, but I think everybody should prepare for the fact that Mattel's time for DC action figures is almost up.
I'm prepared.
Hey, get some new blood in there.
I'm honestly, I don't know. They did the Tron.
I was talking to Matt about this. The only thing I can think of from them doing figures was Tron, and those were rough.
The vehicles were pretty good.
That's exactly what Matt said.
The figures were not very good, but they were kind of neat in a way. They had the light up feature.
Yeah,
They were a little bit. The sculpts were not very crisp, and especially the Jeff Bridges figure was garbage. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
it was rough.
It was really rough. So
Yeah.
if they haven't stepped it up since then,
I mean,
Who
who
knows?
knows how much interest they have in doing the action figures even. They may want to do their usual stuff with the license.
DC is still making their own.
DC
figures.
Collectibles, yeah. And a lot of people have asked that, like, why doesn't DC Collectibles just do it themselves? And it's because DC Collectibles is more of a straight to consumer market.
They're a
going to
smaller
the comic shops.
company, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're not, I don't think they're built for mass market retail. Like, I don't think that I mean, their stuff, at least the last few that I picked up, the quality control is awful.
Yeah.
I mean, they just break, and that's not going to fly at mass market. You're not going to be able to put out stuff they're doing now where it just breaks right out of the box.
Yeah.
And a kid's supposed to play with it, you know? It's kind of a shame because Mattel seemed like this year they were really getting the multiverse thing rolling again with like new sculpts and a new way to do Build-A-Figures with less pieces. And it seemed like they were kind of interested in doing stuff with the license again. And DC films maybe rounding the corner. Everybody seems to like Aquaman. Shazam looks like it's going to be probably pretty fun. So it seemed like it was turning a corner for everything, where the movies were going to start being better and more interest from kids in the action figures. Mattel was doing a better job with the figures. And now it's going to be just this year and then go to somebody else. The other interesting thing that I read, though, was that Hasbro's license for both Star Wars and Marvel runs up next year. And I started thinking maybe Mattel's letting that go to make a bid for either Marvel or Star Wars. Because they got Jurassic World from Hasbro.
Yeah.
So
If Hasbro lets go of Star Wars, how are they going to make it?
yeah,
And that's what they do. Although I don't know how they're making it. Those aren't. Well, they probably are selling quite a bit of some of the stuff. Maybe not
of which one?
Star Wars.
I don't think Star Wars is doing well. I think that was
Well,
really
they put
hurt
on
by
that- Yeah, the movie.
Last Jedi really hurt things.
They still have some other
Yeah, I mean,
like classic trilogy stuff.
it'll never go away. I mean, people are always going to collect Star Wars.
If it's not Hasbro doing it, that's going to be crazy.
That'll be crazy for sure. I mean,
Because they took over for Kenner, so it's basically that was the continuation. Now, if it's Mattel getting it,
yeah, I don't think that there's any chance that Mattel's going to bring enough money to the table to take either one away.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I mean, there's got to be something that ties into that date, though, for it to be.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird that both dates coincide. It could just be a coincidence, but it is weird that they're letting this go and these licenses are coming up for renewal. So, what do you do? You know, do you keep holding on to DC and hope for the best that the movies are going to turn around, or do you take that money you were devoting towards that license and put it towards trying for something else? I don't know. Let me catch up on here. Let's see. Blaze says The Rocketeer is great, definitely in my top 5 superhero movies. Iron Bison says, I've been disappointed with Mattel's DC UC figures. I've only ever picked up Flash and Zoom for the CW show, and it's only because I'm a huge Flash mark. They have gotten better, and I agree that for a long time their DC Universe Classics was just spinning their wheels. It was the same body molds again and again and again, just with different paint jobs slapped on. But it seemed like, especially with the addition of like that John Leslie ship Flash that was really good, and this latest wave that has like Kyle Rayner Green Lantern, and it's got that Gotham by Gaslight Batman, and a 4-figure Build-A-Figure wave, it seemed like they were going to get better. Mr. Indie Filmman says I should read the Rocketeer graphic novel. You definitely should.
Definitely should.
It's really great, and there's a lot. You could see that the movie is almost a direct translation of a lot of the storyline. Let's see. The Batman vs. Superman Justice League figures were a total pass for me. I agree with that. Let's see. Okay. Maybe I missed it at the beginning of the episode, but did either of you see Bumblebee yet? Curious to see your thoughts on the newest movie. I have not seen Bumblebee. You have not seen Bumblebee.
I have
right?
not seen. Nate saw it.
Yeah, Nate saw it, so that's why he's asking about it. But it was a choice between seeing Spider-Verse or Bumblebee this past weekend, and I think Gracie would be into Bumblebee as much.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see something we could
Maybe
all
that
see
would have
together.
been a little bit for older.
Yeah, you know, and there's a thing, she has this weird thing where she doesn't like knives. Like, she gets freaked out if there's a knife in the movie. And, I don't know, sometimes they can transform and they have, like, blade things going on. And I thought, there's a chance that some Transformers are going to have some kind of blades. She's going to freak out.
They're
I took her
gonna
to
have
see...
Beyblades.
They got Beyblades. I may have said this on the show, I can't remember. I may have said it on the show last time, but I'm going to say it again. We went to see The Grinch. I took her to see The Grinch, me and her. And she said beforehand, there's no knife parts, is there? There's no knife parts in the movie. And I said, no, there's no knife parts. It's okay, there's no knife parts. It's The Grinch. No knife parts. The trailer started up, and the very first trailer was for The Kid Who Would Be King, which is the sword and the stone.
Yeah.
And so immediately there's this sword and all this darkness with like all this, dark theme and lightning crackling and the sword being pulled out. And she's like, oh. And she got like cuddle up and she was freaking out. She's like, there's a knife part. And I was like, it's okay, it's just a trailer, it's gonna be over with. But it was so funny that I promised her, like, No knife parts.
Yeah.
The very first thing, knife
You
part.
see, that's what happens.
Yeah.
You tell a kid that it's gonna be okay. and
It's gonna be a certain way, and then it always goes bad.
You tell Blaze that there's not gonna be any boobies and
And Logan and
and then they
Boom,
show up.
there's a
What-
boobie.
What can you do?
yeah, that was great.
That was.
Mike says that's fine. He says there's no boobs involved at all. I knew it was coming.
I really didn't remember. Yeah.
As it was happening, I was like, this is gonna have boobs right here, and I tried to. It's like no, but it was too late. You'd seen everything. Let's see. Bill Tackett says Bumblebee was a glorified girl with her dog movie. And I've kind of heard a little bit of a similar thing where it's where they try to make Bumblebee into this kind of cuddly companion, but at the same time he's this war machine type of thing that's supposed to be this super spy for the Autobots. But at the same time they try to make him kind of the cuddly companion thing, which is kind of
Haven't they been doing that with all
Yeah.
the Transformers movies?
kind of yeah. They kind of do that, but the other ones were pretty awful, except for the first one. I went into the first one thinking I'm gonna hate this. The
Yeah.
first Transformers film, that it was gonna be awful. And watching it, I was like, okay, that wasn't that bad. That was better than I thought it was gonna be. But I think my expectations were so low on that first one, and then the rest are like, oh, these are really bad. So yeah, they do the Bumblebee companion thing with Spike in those other movies. So I guess that's just how it is. Bill Tackett says the first 2 minutes were pretty glorious though for the movie. The
Oh.
whole movie needed to be like the first 2 minutes.
Ooh.
So
Let's see if I can get the first 2
I'm
minutes.
gonna try to sneak in that first 2 minutes. Go see a different movie. Still better than the Michael Bay Transformers movie, but yeah, the movie is made for kids, and they brought back more classic Transformers designs, which is something they should have done from the very beginning.
Yeah.
You're doing that property, you should make it look like that property. I never understand that. We talk about it on the show a lot. But going after a property and then changing it to the point where it's unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Why do that? Just make up your own then. You could have made his Transformers look like shredded pop cans.
Yeah.
Just make a movie of the shredded pop can machines. And don't call it Transformers then. You know?
Call it Shredders.
Call it the shredded pop can mans. You know?
Yeah. Soda slices.
Soda slice dudes. Alright. That is everything I have written down so far. Do you have anything?
I don't have anything written down. I just don't know what's happening.
You're not up with it anymore, man.
I
You spend, what, 3 or 4 days a week on job sites.
building houses.
You can't
stuff
see
like
what's going on in the world,
that. Can't.
pop culture. You can't. You're on like an iPhone 2.
I need to
You
get.
don't even have internet on that
I need to
thing.
get the eye glasses.
You need to get a Google Watch.
I need to get a Google Glass
Google Glasses, so you can watch
and have the screen.
pop culture stuff.
Yeah.
Like Minority Report. You can put your hands
Yeah.
out and it'll look like 3D as you're
Yeah.
on the. You're taking this and going to the next.
Hey, what the heck are you
page.
doing?
Yeah.
I'm
Don't
just-
worry about it. I'm just checking Toy News out.
I'm gonna fix the stuff.
Yeah. I think it's fun to watch movies. If there was a thing on S.H.I.E.L.D. like that, where Coulson, and I enjoyed the show, now, this is not a dig on the show, but when they're doing that, where
Oh, yeah.
they have the whole 3D, and people have to go like this, and do like this with their hands, and all the stuff gets edited in later on. And I've seen it, it's so obvious that he's just doing this on a set, and they're having to add
Yeah,
stuff
they have
later
to add
on.
stuff.
So it's just funny to me to think about those actors having to do like, okay, well now you're going to pretend like there's a menu and you have to do some stuff with your hands to make it seem
Yeah.
like you're going through all the different
Yeah.
3D files. It just looks silly.
Yeah.
I'm doing it right here. Like we can add it in later on.
Let's please do. I wish we would.
Yeah, I wish we would too, but we won't.
That reminds me. I watched a little-known sci-fi movie the other day called Runaway with Tom Selleck. It
Okay.
was made back in the 80s. It's got Kirstie Alley in it and Gene Simmons from Kiss. He's the
From Kiss?
He's the villain. Now the movie has a lot of shortcomings.
Yeah.
It's a low-budget film, obviously. It's not fantastic. I'm not saying I necessarily recommend it, but if you happen to catch it at like midnight or sometime when you're up,
Okay.
give it a watch. They have all these little robots. It's in the future, and robots are doing everything for society, sort of like
Every future movie.
Yeah. like the Jetsons or something. You know, those robots are doing everything, and of course, there's a chip that's been installed in some of them that are going bad. Well, some of them go bad anyway, and that's what Tom Selleck's job is. He's a cop who specializes in robotics.
Robots that go bad.
Yeah, and but a few things in there. This was made in the '80s. A few things that foretold the future. Okay.
Okay.
They had iPads. they had Bluetooths, they
Okay.
had cell phones, and
Whoa.
laptop computers. Think about it. What did Tom Selleck know that we don't know?
He's a time traveler.
I knew it.
He's a time traveler, man.
Anyway,
Speaking of Tom Selleck,
it's pretty neat.
two things. Well, you maybe think of two things when you're talking about that. We're still cruising right along with Goldbergs. We watch it every single night, at least one episode every single night.
Yeah.
I think we're on season 3 now. And there was the episode where Murray and Bill, they watch Magnum PI and both grow mustaches. It was so funny, man. That show is so good.
It's good.
And she shaves his mustache in the middle of the night while he's sleeping. You took my Magnum!
My Magnum,
My
yeah.
Magnum. And he gets him a little brush for it.
Yeah. Mustache
Too
Bros.
good.
Yeah.
And then you said Fantastic, that made me think of Fantastic Four. And I watched, there's on Vudu, V-U-D-U.
Yep.
You go to Vudu, which is one of these like streaming digital online movie things. But if you go to Vudu.com, you can watch Doomed, the story behind the unreleased Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie, for free.
Oh.
You can stream it for free over there. And I watched it, and it was really good. Now, that was the first bootleg movie I ever bought, was the Roger Corman unreleased Fantastic Four movie. And I remember seeing articles going into the movie being released, and thinking, wow, they're doing a Fantastic Four movie. This is going to be fun.
This is pre-X-Men. Wasn't it
It was pre-X-Men. It was like 1994,
That's what I
man.
thought, yeah.
I mean, it was after the X-Men cartoon, but
Right,
at that point, it was going to be the first Marvel movie since, Punisher, maybe? At that point, I think we had Punisher and Cap, which were both unreleased. And the time they were talking about the Fantastic Four movie, when these articles were happening, it was going to go to theaters. It was going to be Marvel's first movie in the theaters at that point.
Punisher wasn't in theaters?
I don't think so. No, I think that if it was overseas. I think it was straight to video over here. But it was going to go to theaters, and I remember seeing the costumes, thinking, "Oh, this looks a little cheesy, but it's Fantastic Four. This is gonna be fun, man. You go to see the Fantastic Four movie." And then it didn't come out at movie theaters, and it didn't come out on DVD. And there was reports it was going to be unreleased. That it was not going to come out to theaters after all. It was not going to be released at all. I remember just checking in, there was back in Toy Shop News or Toy Shop Magazine. It was this big newspapery magazine, and there was a dealer in back that sold bootleg tapes through the mail. And I had to buy a money order and send it through the mail to get a copy of this, right? And it's still here. It's in that drawer over there. But anyway, getting to watch this movie, the whole storyline behind the movie getting made, it was very sad to watch because they had all the cast in the documentary. Like everybody from the film, the director of the film they all participated in this documentary. And when they were making the movie, they thought they were really making the movie. Like they got the rights to the movie, they were moving forward with the movie, and to them, they were just doing the best job they could with this limited Roger Corman budget. But they were going to be in movie theaters, and Roger Corman movies didn't go to movie theaters at that point, but they were going to get a shot at going to theaters, and everybody was so excited for this project to happen, and they put their heart and souls into this movie, and then it became clear at the very end of production and getting the editing process that the goal was never even this movie to get even released, that it was to just retain the rights to make Fantastic Four movies, that this company, Constantine Films or whatever, and it was a bargaining piece for, Fox and Marvel or whatever to buy the rights back from them, and somebody get a big payday as the main guy, so that they had to be in production on a film, Fantastic Four film, to retain these rights. So they had to move forward with this movie that it sounds like they never planned on releasing, and they don't know, like the director didn't know, none of the stars knew, they don't think Roger Corman was even aware at the time that they were making a movie that was never going to be released, and it was simply being made just so they could retain rights and show that it's a viable property and then sell it for more money later on, which really stinks
Hogwash.
that they did that to all these people.
Yeah.
And even, and rest in peace Stan Lee, but even it came across like there were some people talking where Stan Lee would visit the set, and then he was very kind to everyone there, and then he would go on these things and talk about how horrible the movie looked. At some point it became clear that Stan was on the side of the other people and trying to get the film rights back, and the way to do it was to dog this movie. To be on the set and talking with them and being nice to them and everything, and then be, as part of the team, to badmouth this film and get the rights back. Stan was
Let
maybe
me play
part of it.
let me play devil's advocate here
Yeah.
for Stan. Being nice to the actors might not necessarily equate thinking that the movie looked good, because as fun as it was, it really might
But-
not have met their expectations.
That's kind of, I mean, all the people that really were trying hard to make this film what it is, and him kind of dog it in there and say it looks awful, don't go see it. That's really not kind to the people that are working on it. And I'm saying it from my perspective,
Yeah.
watching these actors talk about it, and you could hear the hurt, like the guy playing the thing, and how he talked about how the Stan was on the set, and he talked about you're what I envisioned for Ben Grimm, and he said, and then to see him going around and talk about how awful we were, and how terrible it looked, and to ignore us, really just hurt. And you could see it like really hurt him. And the guy that played Mr. Fantastic, it's the same thing where he's speaking from a place of hurt. Like, it's like, you're gonna do that? Like, you're gonna come
Yeah,
around
well-
here and,
Stan ignored them?
Well, he told people to ignore the film.
Oh, to ignore the film.
Don't see the film, basically. And it looks awful. And we have nothing to do with this movie.
Mm.
It did kind of stink, you
Yeah.
know, like, and I agree that Stan, and we've talked on the show before, that Stan had great contributions to this, but at the same time, he does take a lot of the credit for stuff that other people did too, you know, and he's not the only architect of the Marvel Universe. So to hear that he would maybe be on the side of, this is where this is where your paycheck gets signed, and maybe dog the film and not care about all those contributors and the people that did that, it's possible that it did occur that way. I'm not going to speak ill of the dead, but
Yeah.
watch the thing and you can see the hurt in people's faces. It's not cool, you know?
Go to
These
the
people
movie,
really did
check it
try.
out.
Let's see. That's Hollywood for you. You're the best thing ever until you're not. James Bacon's here. Hey, what's up, dude? So yeah, it was really fun to watch though. It was a really interesting documentary. And supposedly Avi Arad, I hate Avi Arad. He seems like a real piece of work. Supposedly he said that he bought the print of the film just to destroy it. Like he bought it and he burned it.
And who's that dude?
He's like this producer guy through Marvel
Okay.
that claims a lot of credit for a lot of things that happen, and it gets to be sort of annoying to see Avi Arad always put his name on everything.
So no chance of the movie getting released?
That's what he said. Now I'm kind of spoiling some things that happen in the movie, but so they finished it and they said you got to give us the print, and so they had to turn over the print, and then the director and the editor tried to break in. They broke into like the Roger Corman studios or whatever, I can't remember what he said exactly, and they looked for it and it was gone, it was already gone, because they were going to get it and they were going to get a copy of it made before it was just gone.
Yeah.
And then Avi Arad said in some interview that he bought it, the print, and then destroyed it, so that nobody would ever see it. But the director says, and the movie's out there, the director said that he'd taken the print at one point to get a couple of master copies made for dubbing or something. And he thinks that the guy at the dubbing place in Hollywood, saw it was a Fantastic Four movie and made a copy himself.
Mm.
And that's how the copies have circulated throughout these years. And he even says in the thing, like, whoever did that, thank you, because the movie would be gone if it weren't for that one person that decided to make a copy. And if that's the case, if that one guy made that copy and all these copies have come from that one copy that's made, that is crazy.
Yeah.
That one guy that made that copy has made it so many people can see this unreleased film. But it's gotta be. He couldn't have destroyed it. And they even say that in the documentary, like, if you're into films, if you're an actual film lover and you're a producer, you don't destroy film.
Yeah,
you
that's
don't.
That's what I was just thinking.
You don't burn it.
How irresponsible.
Yeah, you would not do that.
Just historically speaking, you think, yeah, this is bad, but it happened, it existed, and these people worked on it, and here it is, and I've seen it, and there's things that you could probably learn how to do
Yeah,
in that. You know, I didn't think the Thing costume looked all that bad.
I like the Thing costume. I don't think they've gotten the Thing better since. And
Dr. Doom.
he looks like Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
He's wearing the Doctor Doom suit. As far as, I mean, the movie is very low budget,
Yeah.
and it's not the greatest actors in the world, but it is the best translation of the Fantastic Four in film so far, like from the comic to film. It's got it the best. And, you know, I'll take the Chris Evans movies. I think, other than their treatment of Doom and Galactus, they're fine. I mean, they're not the best movies in the world, but they're fine Fantastic Four movies. They absolutely destroy Doctor Doom. He's awful in those movies. But as far as the movies go, that one's probably the closest to a Fantastic Four comic book.
Seems like somebody, Marvel or Corman, whoever would agree to like, or Marvel give permission to Corman Studios to say, let's put this out. Put it out with the documentary.
Exactly. Put it out together.
Put it out as
It's
a
got to
bonus
be out
feature.
there still. It's
Yeah,
got to
for
be.
sure.
And I think people would love to see a cleaned up version of it.
Yeah.
Even and the one guy that plays Doctor Doom in the movie and said, even as a special feature on one of your other releases, this is money that's laying on the table.
Right.
He made the point that more people have seen the movie now that it's unreleased, and it's more interesting now than it had it been released.
Right.
You know, it's become more of a thing now, and it still is talked about. They're doing a documentary on it, whereas if it was just a movie that made it out to theaters and it wasn't very good and it was low budget and people didn't care about it, it would be gone. You wouldn't even talk about it now. But now it has a following, and people would like to see a cleaned up version just to see what it was like. And he even said that he wished he could have redubbed more lines as Dr. Doom because a lot of it's on-set audio that's in what you see now, and it's tough to understand him sometimes. And he said, I would come back and dub those lines. Like, I would redub everything so you can actually understand what he's saying, do it like a cleaned up version. And the director was saying, I would like to see one that's as is, and then one where the effects are cleaned up to show what kind of movie we really could have done with the effects, built back in with CGI or something, like a special edition or something. I would love that. And it's got to be out there. It's got to be. I would really hope that it's not destroyed. I'm going to catch up on these real quick here.
Do it.
Aaron Bison says, I hear Avi had a big hand in everything, which is cool, but from interviews he does seem like a jerk. And he does seem like a jerk. He's very much a, look what I did. Put my name on that, put my name on that. Bacon says, it isn't about posterity for some people, it's about money and prestige. It's very true. If something damages either of those, it's disposable. Very true. Blaze says, I'm interested in seeing what the Marvel Studios will do with the Fantastic Four, which apparently that deal is like done. Disney Fox merger's over because there was some company letter that went out and it actually has the Disney letterhead on it now for Fox. It got leaked or something, I don't know. And Iron Bison says, well, they can't do any worse than latest Fantastic Four, which is very true. I still have not watched the latest Fantastic Four.
I forgot all about that even.
Let's see. Doom is one of the best villains in the Marvel Universe. He's never gotten good treatment. Yes, that's very true.
Yeah.
And then Doomerson says, oh wow, live. And yes, it is live.
Welcome.
It's funny that your name is Doomerson because we were just talking about Dr. Doom. So odd timing on that.
Welcome.
Yeah. Where are we at now? We're at 1 hour.
Yeah.
So Doomerson, you're joining us right as we're coming up on the hour mark, which is close to when we're gonna cut off the episode. But if you have anything you want to say, go ahead and throw it in here now, because we'll probably talk for a couple more minutes. Go watch that though. You should watch it. It's a fun documentary, man. Did you ever watch the?
I don't have Vudu, but yeah,
You can watch it on anything.
well, like what can I watch it on?
On a computer land.
Can I watch it on my phone?
You probably can't. Try it right now.
I can't. I got the streaming on right now.
Oh, dang it. But you can turn the streaming off.
Maybe I could use Vudu to do it.
You could use Voodoo to do it.
I'll try that.
Voodoo do it.
I'll try it. We have Vudu on our TV, I think.
Do you?
It's an option.
Okay, well you
It's a
can watch it
smart
there.
TV.
Have you watched the unreleased Fantastic Four movie ever?
Yeah, I have.
You have watched it? Okay.
I can't remember if I did from beginning to end, but I've definitely seen it. We used to play at the store a lot.
That's right.
And I think you let me borrow it at one point.
It's on YouTube.
I'm
now,
not
too.
the biggest Fantastic Four fan in the world anyway. To say that I was a Fantastic Four fan would be an overstatement to begin with.
Yeah, a Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Fan.
Fanatic.
Yeah.
Fanatic Four.
Fanatic Four.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a fanatic for the Four. Well, I mean.
But it was, it's fun. I can see the value in that, and I've seen other Roger Corman movies, and you kind of know
what it's going to be.
what
you're
it's
gonna get.
going to be, and I grew up with having nothing but the Captain America with the motorcycle helmet
Yeah.
from the TV
TV
movies and the TV Spider-Man from the 70s.
The web shooter on the outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I think is kind of cool.
It is kind of cool.
Like that.
That should be out on DVD.
Why isn't that on DVD?
There's a ton of stuff that should be out on DVD.
I feel like Marvel is, they don't want certain things interfering with their image. Which
Yeah.
I kind of get that. You want to make sure quality happens, but is it them they keep things from getting clearance at stores? Is it Marvel who's doing that, or is
What
it
do you
somebody else? Like if they have a clearance sticker on some of their stuff that hasn't sold, it looks bad for the brand. So there's like they kind of put the smackdown on that.
We don't want
say,
clearance.
well, we're not going to clearance yet.
Yeah.
We're going to carry this for a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It seems odd that
But
For DC, it was a matter of licensing to get like the '60s Batman show out on DVD. Like that was a big licensing nightmare for the longest time. And I don't know if maybe that's the same case for Marvel. Maybe there's some kind of licensing stuff where they
Could
can't
be.
put the old stuff out. But I would think that people would buy that live action Spider-Man series.
no kidding.
They would buy.
Like you said, it's money on the table.
Yeah,
For all these things. I
totally.
mean, you're getting inundated with superhero movies left and right now, and they're all of a certain caliber or quality. Even if you taste, if you don't like it, still you're getting brand new, flashy superhero movies.
Yeah,
And it's kind of interesting to go back and say, well,
where it came from.
what was
How
there to
far
offer?
have they gone
I
from
mean,
here?
because you got all the DC stuff and Wonder Woman and Batman, but that Spider-Man was pretty neat when I was a kid.
I remember watching it on Thanksgiving. They would
cool.
show it on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
They would show like a bunch of episodes on Sci-Fi or something maybe. I can't remember where I would watch them at.
See, if sci-fi gets the rights, I mean,
Yeah.
somebody has
Somebody
that
has to have it.
somewhere and could put it out.
I would also watch, I know they're not very good, but I would watch I'd buy the Generation X TV movie and the Nick Fury, David Hasselhoff movie.
Yeah.
They're not very good.
No. But you'd have them.
I'd have them.
They did put out the Captain America.
Let's see, let's get caught up on here. Hang on one second.
I'll hang on.
Did I miss Into the Spider-Verse review? You did, Bill. I loved it. I loved Into the Spider-Verse. So you have to listen to the actual podcast to hear my thoughts on it, but I didn't expand too much on my thoughts on it. So, but the animation was great, the storyline was great, the voice acting was great. Just great movie.
Yeah.
Loved it. Loved Into the Spider-Verse. It's my third favorite Spider-Man movie. Because nothing will ever top the
That's
two
the
Tobey
first
Maguire,
two.
the first two Tobey Maguires for me. Dune River says, I'm here, dude. My kids and I collect and watch your videos regularly. Oh, that's awesome. Very fun, the toy reviewer guy. Bring back Michael Keaton as old man Bruce Wayne. Yes.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton as old man Bruce Wayne is something we have talked about a few times on the show, and we would love to see that. Bill Tackett's watching this with the boys while eating dinner. Hope you're having a good dinner.
Yeah. That's going to be a good dinner.
And let's see.
You know that.
Dolph Punisher. What about Dolph Punisher, James Bacon? Dolph Punisher's great.
Yeah.
Dolph Punisher's my favorite Punisher movie.
Speaking of which, there was discussion of the next episode we do being about Dolph movies.
Yeah.
Just covering
Dolphin movies.
Dolphin movies, yeah.
Like Flipper.
Finding Nemo,
Yeah.
Free
Free Willy.
Little Mermaid, things that have
Yes.
dolphins in them.
Yes.
Free,
Piranha.
Free Willy 2,
Jaws.
Yeah.
Jaws 3D. Yep.
Leviathan.
All those. Abyss. All those movies with dolphins in them.
All the movies.
All the movies that have dolphins in them, we'll do all of them in one. It'll be a long episode. So we're going to cover every dolphin movie.
Get your swim fins on.
Finding Nemo's. Finding Dory's.
Free Willy 2.
Free Willy 2, The Adventure's Back. I don't know what that was called actually.
I think it was called The Adventure's Back.
No way. It can't be.
No, but
That would be great.
it might as well have been. It was
They're
Free
just telling
Willy
you flat
2.
out, look, The Adventure's Back, okay? It's the sequel to Free Willy. You had Adventure the first time. It's back.
You know the first one was good enough.
You knew it was good enough.
The first one is all we needed to do.
Free Willy is free already.
It's a contained story. It was free.
We told you in the title what's happening. Speaking of which, all right, let me catch up on this real quick. Swamp Thing's pickle. That's Ralph. It's
Oh no, I remember.
Return of Swamp Thing.
Yes, renting Return of Swamp Thing, and having that scene.
Scene was gonna let her lock
She picks the pickle off of him and eats it. I was like, what is going on?
That's why she's so sick nowadays.
I was like,
I was talking about that the other day.
He's like 10 years old.
He's He-Man, Frank Castle, Adam Drago, the King Guy from the new Aquaman. Yes, I haven't seen Aquaman yet. Sequest, that song got a dolphin in it. There was a dolphin action figure from that line. You guys do an episode where you go through all the directors' movies like you do with actors. That's a great idea.
Wait, what was that one?
Blaze said you should do an episode where you go through all the certain directors' movies, like we do all of one actor's movies.
Yeah. That's a good one.
What was your opinion of Bane from The Dark Knight Rises compared to the Bane we knew beforehand? Awful.
Sorry.
I didn't even make it through A Dark Knight Rises all the way. Sorry if you like it, it's just that's my opinion.
I still haven't watched that movie.
Bane is a great villain in the comics, and he was not treated well in Dark Knight Rises. What was I going to say? We were talking about Dolph Punisher. I lost it.
Well, we're talking about directors.
I lost
movies.
it, man. It's gone.
Come on, please.
Ah!
Dolphins.
Ah.
Talk about Sequest. Was it about Jonathan Brandis?
It was.
Was it about sidekicks?
I missed Jonathan Brandis.
Was it Ladybugs?
It was.
Jonathan Brandis. Why'd you have to do it?
Don't do it,
You could
Jonathan
have made
Brandis.
so many good.
You could have.
More good movies. It's okay. Sequest was doing fine. It was still in the air.
I don't know if it was.
Well,
I don't know if that's true at all.
it was in syndication.
I think think he was way past
I had the
Sequest being on air.
I had the Roy Scheider figure
Yes.
from Sequest,
Yeah.
and I used it to make a custom Crow figure.
That's the right move.
Why?
I wanted to buy
Because
those
he
like
already-
Enterprise figures.
Because he
out.
already had black.
He already had black. It was a good
He
start.
already had the black suit on.
That's why I chose that Toy Biz Batman to
And I
make
just
Spawn.
painted, not a good.
It's all black.
Batman is a better Spawn than
Yeah.
Roy Scheider is a
It was
Crow.
pretty awful though, because he had those like things on his legs. I just left them on there, the armor. He had that belt piece. I just put some Play-Doh in the belt hole, trying to make a skull out of it. Used my sister's nail polish for red.
Nice.
That's all I could do.
That's what you had.
That's what I had. I had the tools. I had the talent.
Yep.
Let's see. Only watched a few episodes for Roy Scheider. Yeah, I've heard good things about Sequest, but I never.
I haven't heard
Get too
anything good
into
about Sequest.
Back when it was on, I heard.
Back
Well,
when it was on?
didn't the Jonathan Brandis figure have like a jacket and a wetsuit
Yeah.
and like bare feet or something?
No, he had
And they made a dolphin figure.
he had those boat shoes that were popular. You know those?
Oh yeah, the
those,
boat shoes.
Those water shoes.
Yeah, like water dogs.
Like water shoes. They're slip-on shoes. You know. And they were the same color as your wetsuit or your biker shorts.
Yeah,
that
you
were
made
gonna
a
have.
match.
They were black with like a royal blue or
Yeah.
neon green or something. That's what he.
That's what he had. That's what he had in the action
figure.
figure. Yeah. Were there any bad guys in that line? Was that guy like was wearing a cowboy hat, like a duster?
Yeah, but I don't know if he was.
I
good
think
at
it's
that.
Dusty Man because he didn't go well with water. He turned into Mud Man. I gotta look it up. I gotta find that guy's name now. Hang on.
He was a bad guy. I wouldn't collect him. I didn't.
He was Dusty Man. Yeah, you have no interest in him.
Have you an interest in the saltwater?
I do. Hang on. Let's see here. Waterworld figure. No, it's not Waterworld. No.
What? You ever gonna?
I look at Waterworld. They're all Dusty Mans. Sequest
I didn't paint any of my water worlds.
figures. Okay, I'm gonna look him up. I see him. He does look like a Dusty Man. Okay. The Regulator. He's got on these weird white glasses, and he's got dusty clothes on, and he comes with a monkey.
Is he a bad guy or is he a?
His name's the Regulator, and he looks like a Dusty Man.
Sounds like a bad guy.
So it seems like he would probably be a bad guy. I'm gonna call him a bad guy. Let's see.
I did watch that show when it came on, but it didn't last long for me. But
Yeah.
I was pretty
Hey,
young.
Josh Pence is here. What's
I
up,
was
dude?
pretty young. Maybe it was above my head.
Yeah, I was interested because it had looked like a spaceship, but it was really a water ship.
That's how they do it.
That's how they get you. You think you're watching a space show, but it's not.
I watched the alien knockoff called
Was it,
Leviathan.
was it a submarine? It looked like a submarine or did it look like a spaceship?
It looked
No,
like,
I want to say it looked like a
it looked like a submarine. It looked like a submarine.
looked like a fish submarine though.
Like Nemo's Nautilus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you think they probably chose Roy Scheider because of the Jaws connection?
Oh
You
yeah.
would think.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. Look, we know you fought the shark before, but now we want you to save the sharks.
We want you to
With
talk
a
with the
Sequest.
dolphins.
Yeah. Deep sea vehicle. That's what DSV stands for, right?
You think you'd be willing to go on a Sequest?
You want to take you on a sea cruise?
Have you seen the,
Louis?
have you seen the movie Ladybugs?
Have you seen Ladybugs? Because we got that kid.
He's in it. He's willing to go on the quest. Are you?
He's Jonathan Brandis.
Speaking of underwater sci-fi movies that look like spaceships and Jaws, I watched a movie called Leviathan
Yeah.
with Peter Weller.
RoboCop.
RoboCop is in it.
RoboCop.
RoboCop's in it,
Yeah.
and it's an alien ripoff,
Okay.
almost 100%. But it had a pretty.
I think I may have seen this.
The set looks really nice, and it's got Ernie Hudson is in it too.
I have seen this.
It's not bad up until the end. The monster comes
Don't
out.
spoil it.
Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but the monster comes out of the water, and Peter Weller's in the water, and he has, I forget what he has with him, a rocket launcher or a flamethrower, or not a flamethrower, a flare gun, or I don't remember what he has, but he goes, "Say ah, mother effer," and then he shoots the thing. And I was laughing so hard because the movie's relatively serious. It's
Up
like
to that point,
it's
and
a-
then check out.
it's an alien.
It's like they
ripoff.
wrote the line first, and then the movie came around.
Oh yeah, you know they were like, remember Jaws?
Remember Jaws?
Remember when he said smile?
Remember Jaws?
It
Yeah.
was just like that, and you know they were just trying to take something from Jaws,
Yeah.
and it
And it didn't
it
work.
didn't come off.
It didn't work.
It's worth watching almost just for that.
All right, I gotta catch up on some comments here. Alpha Tryon says, "Is the Rogues Gallery 5-pack ever coming back? Can't find it anywhere." That Batman animated Rogues Gallery 5-pack that had was the
Yeah.
only way you could get the Mr. Freeze you wanted, and the Killer Croc you wanted, and the Bane that you wanted, and the Poison Ivy you wanted, all in this one set, and then Montoya. And it was like $200. Am I right about that?
Is that the
Just like to
DC?
chime in? It was like $200.
DC Direct?
Yeah, the DC Collectibles one, DC
Okay.
Direct, whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like $200 and some, I want to say, retail. And everybody's like, wow, this is crazy expensive.
Yeah.
And everybody thought that they would break it up, because at that point, DC Collectibles was kind of giving the shaft to collectors and doing, here's this, no, here it is again with something else. But they haven't. They've never run it back. I will tell you, though, if you're deciding to go after that, the quality on that is awful. We opened 2 sets at Christmas, and I want to say, and if Blaze is on here, he can chime in. I want to say like 4 out of the 10 figures total were broken out of the box.
So buy yourself a pack and,
Yeah.
and a little bit of super glue.
Just super glue everything. Let's see, some sort of underwater cowboy pirate. That's exactly what that regular guy looks like.
Underwater cowboy pirate.
Doom Doomerson asked for our favorite Batman animated series episode. That's a good question. I don't know where.
That's a good question.
Um,
we did a Batman animated series
did.
episode, although that's been so long
It
ago.
has been a long time. Mine change from time to time.
Yeah, there are some great ones that I watch and I think, wow, I forgot
This
how
is the
good
best
that
one.
was.
No, this is the best one. I would say Heart of Ice.
Heart
It's
of
up
Ice
there.
is fantastic.
Over the Edge from the new Batman Adventures is on there.
I have to say, probably just consistently, without a doubt for me, it's the Grey Ghost.
Yeah, Grey Ghost is great. It is a great episode.
It's a great episode.
It is a great
It's got
episode.
Adam West is back.
2-parters make it tough too. When we did this podcast, it was tough because I think we chose both favorite episodes and favorite 2-parters.
Feet
Maybe
of Clay.
Feet of Clay was the second part is really great, and then Robin's Reckoning is so good. Like it's great. The whole origin of Robin, that was an amazing 2-parter. It's deep sea vessel until the later seasons when it becomes a deep space vessel. I couldn't roll my eyes hard enough. Justice James Bacon said, so it does become a space vessel?
Wow.
So they go in space with it?
We've conquered underwater. What about space?
Oh wait, he made a joke.
Oh,
That was a joke.
We got fooled.
Oh man, I was like, for real.
We haven't seen it, so I was totally buying into the fact that the idea that they would have done that.
Yeah. Let's see, Nate says, Demon's Quest, Heart of Ice, Grey Ghost. Grey Ghost rocked. My favorite has to be the one about Hardak. What? Those were really good too.
Yeah.
Over the Edge is great. Yes, it is. Garbage Pail Kids, the movie commentary for both of you. Have you ever watched Garbage Pail Kids?
Yeah. I used to rent it.
Did we watch it together bad movie night one night?
No, I wasn't there, but yeah, I did rent it quite a bit from
Yeah.
Kroger.
Kroger.
Back when Kroger had a video store. Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
Okay.
My favorite part is at the end where all the Home for the Ugly or something, and they have all the cages labeled with like too crippled and like too hairy and all these things. Too crippled.
Yeah.
That's just not nice.
Yeah.
It's too far.
Too much.
James Bacon was joking about the name change. That's not a funny joke. We bought it. That's not a nice thing to do. Let's see. DJ Nick says Mondo did a print series of Batman animated series with Phantom City Creative that are all fantastic. We'll have to look into those. That sounds pretty cool. Honda McClane or Matt Tracker from Joe Younger. Honda McClane or Matt Tracker? Come on, dude. Matt Tracker is the leader of the team.
Matt Tracker is cool.
Matt Tracker's cool, but Honda did have that cool half mask.
He had the awesome half
We're
mask.
talking about mask right now. Get your
And,
mask
and he
on.
had the truck.
And then he also had the 57 Chevy after that.
Yeah.
So he went from Firecracker and he got destroyed in an episode, and then he moved on to the 57 Chevy. So he had 2 good vehicles.
The truck was one of my favorites. I mean, I did enjoy the.
That Tracker is kind of boring. You might be right.
I
I think turned around right here as we're talking.
I did have the Rhino, too, but Honda was cool.
James Bacon says, I like Bruce in Mask. Bruce Sato was actually my favorite in Mask. So
When I was a
surprised you
kid,
said that.
too, because I had the motorcycle.
He had Lifter. And Lifter was a cool mask. It could lift things. Lift the arm. And
It could pretend to.
It could pretend. That's what all the packaging said. This mask pretends to lift things.
Yeah.
They don't want to go too far. They want to promise things that the mask couldn't do.
The inanimate objects are pretending.
They're pretending to do it.
You don't pretend.
You don't pretend it. It pretends on its own. You don't have to worry about it. It's got a
pretends by
cover.
itself.
Let's see. He said they do go into space, though. They don't change the name of the vehicle, but they do go into space.
You might be being.
I'm not gonna fall for
your
it.
legs
I'm not
being
buying it.
pulled again.
I'm not buying it. Who wins, Bane from Batman and Robin movie or Dark Knight Returns Bane? I'm going to go with Bane from the Batman and Robin movie.
Oh man,
Because he gets juiced up on Venom and he does monkey work. Remember that?
Don't put me in that position.
Do it.
I haven't even seen Dark Knight,
Do
but
it.
I'm picking Dark Knight.
I'll take Batman and Robin.
I hate that Bane wasn't good for.
It wasn't
for Bane
good.
either. He was.
Hey, it looks like Bane though.
It made him dumb.
He looks like Bane though.
He does have.
I'm
a
not
suit.
saying he's
He
good.
does have a suit that looks like Bane.
I never said he was good. I like this taffy. But this stays in your mouth for a long time.
It's gonna be hard to do the show with it. I found that out.
I'm gonna put it over here. That one's mine. All right. I think we're about caught up here, right? And
Yeah,
we're now at an hour and 17 minutes too. But people are chiming in now, so I hate to just turn it off. So we'll just keep going.
We'll go for a
For a
little
few
bit.
more
We'll
minutes.
go for a little bit longer. It's 150.
It's 150. Let's see. So if you're just listening to this audio, this might get a little boring, but I think there's some cool comments in here, so hopefully it won't be boring. Okay, let's see. I've never had any of the toys or watched the tune, but those toys are very cool. He's Myron Bison here talking about probably the Mask toys.
Yep.
And they are really cool, and it's kind of a surprise that that's never been brought back. That's the one toy line from the 80s that I remember being huge and not coming back. That's kind of crazy.
Well, they did Vortex.
Which was a sad
And
imitation for it.
It was not
It
not
wasn't
good,
close.
but it seems like that was Hasbro, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's,
Hasbro owned Kenner at that
yeah,
point.
it seems like they were trying to
Yeah,
get.
but
I don't know why you wouldn't just do the thing, but even reissues.
Yeah,
If
just
they would just
reissue
say
them.
like, well, here's these again,
Here's
in
these.
different colors or something.
They're still great. You'll enjoy them.
Great.
I'm falling way behind now. Let's see.
Shadow Strikers.
Jamie Demeter, I may have said your name wrong. Batman Forever was the greatest Batman movie ever made. That's a strong opinion that you've had there. I disagree with you, but I'm glad to hear
I
that
think
somebody
he's trying
chimed in with something other than the Nolan movies.
Maybe he's trying to get your goat.
It's probably my least favorite Batman movie. Well, I take that back. I don't like Dark Knight at all. I gotta be honest. I can't sit through Dark Knight. Batman Forever, at least, I can enjoy Riddler and I can enjoy Robin in the movie. And Batman and Robin, I actually enjoy more than Batman Forever because the Arnold one-liners are so great. Throughout the entire movie, I just love Arnold. The entire movie.
When you get
Bill Tackett asked, best fave Pixie song or album? I don't know nothing about music, so this one is all you. It's probably because you have a Pixel shirt on.
oh yeah,
It's actually a Pixel shirt. He really loves that.
yeah. I love the Adam Sandler movie. It's not the band. Put me on a hard spot. Favorite song might be Monkey's Gone to Heaven. Favorite overall album is probably Doolittle.
I like Dr. Dolittle too. You
Although
talking about
they're-
the original or talking about
the original.
the? Okay.
The album is actually named after, I think, after the Dr. Doolittle.
Alpha Tryon asks, how do our wives like our toy collecting?
What's the question?
How do our wives, I guess, how do they relate? How do they
Yeah,
react to our
That's
toy
a good
collecting?
question. That's a good question.
You want to go first?
Sure. I'll go first. My wife does not understand it at all.
Yeah.
And I had to try to explain to her, one, that I don't spend a lot of money on it, you know.
That she knows about.
That she knows about. No,
This is a guy that only spends $100 on books.
it was like, it could
If
be,
a book's not like $100, he's not interested in it.
could be worse.
Yeah.
Second of all, you know, I like to put things up around my office, and I'm an artist, so I like inspiration. I also appreciate the artwork that goes into a toy, because
Yeah.
for me, it's how is this sculpted? How do all the pieces fit together? You know, did somebody do a good job on it? It's all those things, and of course it has the properties. Usually, there's
Yeah.
some property that
There's some
has,
kind of relation you have to it.
yeah, or something that relates to my childhood, and it's like I get to step back into that for just a little bit, you know. And of course, I'm not, you know, I don't buy everything I want. I personally don't buy $200 dolls, you know. Even though, you know, there's some really cool stuff that I would like to
Yeah.
have, but it's for, you know, for me, I do have limits for myself. But here's the thing too, women in general are less interested in things, and guys are more interested in things than women are. So to have trinkets and things, like Amy doesn't like that stuff. She likes lights, you know. She wants a new iPhone. That's pretty much it. I'm the one who's buying CDs, I buy DVDs, and she doesn't understand
Yeah.
why those things are there, because
Yeah.
you can stream, and it's like, so I don't know. I don't get crap about it, but
Yeah, you know, when I first was dating my wife, I kind of hit it back. Like, I mean, we met at a wrestling event, so
you
she
probably had to
knew
hide
I
it a
was
lot.
kind
You
of.
probably had to put all your stuff away in that apartment
Well, yeah, I had one room in my apartment that was like toy stuff.
with a padlock on it.
And when we first started dating, I'm like, okay. I told her flat out, I'm not ashamed of the fact that I collect toys and I read comics and all that stuff. And I made it all very clear. And I said, but at the same time, I don't know if you know the extent of how into this I am. So I'm going to hide this for now, and then when you see it, that's when you know that
Then I'll
I really
spring
like you, and that I don't want you to go anywhere. But at the same time, I'm comfortable sharing this side of things too. And she's been, I mean, she doesn't collect anything,
Right.
but she appreciates that I'm passionate about something,
Yeah.
and that I enjoy these things, and that I share it with my kids. She's supportive of all those things, but she's the same way where, I mean, she doesn't keep trinkets or
Right.
say that I need to have this statue or something like that. She likes sewing, and she likes, iPhone, and she likes digital media and these kind of things, but she's never been into it. She's read comics. If I could say, you should read this comic, she'll check out this comic. But she's never been into it. She'll appreciate something if I say, this is really neat, look at this thing. And she'll say, oh, that's cool, but I can tell that it's not the same mindset for her.
Yeah.
But at no point has she ever been like, you shouldn't buy this toy, or you shouldn't get this thing, or you spent too much on these things, or why are you do this thing stuff, grow up, or do something. It's never been that way. She's totally supportive of my passions,
Yeah.
and that's awesome. And I hope that it's a great experience to have, and you should be with a person that's accepting of everything about you,
Yeah.
and not somebody that's going to look down on some aspect of you. And that I've heard of other people before where they, oh, my wife hates that I collect these things, or she's all the time really getting down on me for like things. Like, man, I can't imagine being that way.
Why would you want to live that way?
Why would you want to live that way? Why would you have to change a part of you?
The other side of the coin too is you gotta take inventory on yourself once in a while. And
Yeah, make sure you're not going too far.
going way too far.
Yeah, I agree.
Those sort of things are a little bit subjective, and how could you say? But man, some people are consumed by it almost, and if you get to a point where you're like you can't make your rent or something, but
Then it's gone too far.
Then you're too
And I know guys like that too, where they've gone
Right.
way too far.
Right.
And yeah, you got to know your limits.
Yeah.
And know what you can do. Let's see. Doom Doomerson says, I hope to do more live streams. Can't wait to tell my voice. That's awesome.
I think we will.
We probably will do more. I don't know if it'll be every episode,
Yeah.
but I think it is fun and it's not too distracting, hopefully.
I think this has
People
been a
just listen to
good,
audio.
nice cadence here.
Blaze says his favorite is Surfer Rosa, but my favorite song is Gouge Away. I don't know what that means.
That's off the album. That's off of my favorite album.
Batman and Batman Returns period for Batman films from Doom Rumerson. There has been a Bat movie since, not one. I agree with that. Those are my two favorite Batman films as well. Iron Bison says that's a strong opinion of Batman Forever, but it's also wrong, and he says LOL. Yeah, everybody's allowed to have their own opinion of what their favorite is. That's fine. Let's see. Iron Bison says, gotta ask you before we go, James, any chance for more Kenner Batman reviews? I enjoy watching those, and the first I watched before purchasing a Kenner Batman or vehicle. So this live stream is happening on my personal YouTube page, and we've done lots of reviews on there. And, it's just a matter of finding time to do certain toy reviews. I would love to jump back into doing Kenner Batman reviews, because those are some of the most fun ones we did. And I'm sure eventually it'll happen, I just don't know when. Iron Bison says, I disagree, women like shoes, jewelry, and clothes.
That's true.
They like all those things too.
That's true.
Let's see.
Those are about their appearance for women. That's building their, making themselves feel better,
Yeah.
and that's not quite the same for men. Although I have quite a, I like shoes and I like clothes that make me feel good, but that's not the same as my toys
Yeah.
or tangible things. I have a lot of pocket knives. I probably don't need. I know I don't need all the ones that I have.
You don't need all those. What are you gonna cut with all those?
I cut everything, man.
Everything?
I've used every
Use
knife,
all of them?
every knife I own. I've used.
You're like Freddy Krueger's. You got
Yeah.
them on every finger.
Well, that's what I do when I go home. I
You
take
put them all out. You tape them all on.
tape
And
them
you
onto
cut
my
things. You
fingers.
say, you ask Amy, is there anything you need cut?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Need help with dinner?
Is there any mail that needs opening?
I've got it covered.
I got it covered.
Yeah.
Let's see. Joe says his favorite mask vehicle is Cannonball.
Which one's Cannonball?
That's the awful one that pops open. Isn't that Cannonball?
They all
I need to
pop
go look
open,
at that
that's
one.
one.
I need to go look at. I'm almost positive if this one I'm thinking of, it's awful.
Joe might be trying
Please
to get
tell
your
me you're
joke.
joking.
He's pulling your chain.
Okay. Maybe he's meaning his favorite movie is Cannonball.
Maybe it's
Cannonball Run.
Maybe it's Cannonball Run.
Cannonball Run.
There's a I think it's a Roger Corman movie called Cannonball. It's a car movie.
All right, I've got to find that picture. Make sure I'm thinking of the same one because that's going to drive me nuts if that's his favorite. It's been a while since I've looked at this vehicle.
Joe, coming in with the mask.
He wants to talk about Mask.
I want to talk
Like,
about
he's
Mask
interested
too.
in talking about
I'll
it.
do a whole episode on Mask.
All right, hang on. You keep talking. Fill it up with your quarter story.
Well, people. Okay, so one time I was at Kroger. I'm in the parking lot. This guy comes up. Hey man, can I borrow a couple of quarters? And he asked me for a couple of
No,
quarters.
that was Volcano that I'm thinking of. Volcano.
Okay.
So what is he talking about with Cannonball?
I don't know.
Maybe he's talking about Pixies? Is that a Pixies album?
Oh, he's talking about that's a Breeders song.
Man, it's a Breeders song.
That's what he's talking about. That's Breeders, Joe. Come on, man. You used to have a
Maybe he's talking about that.
a radio show, a music radio show. Come on, man. Come on. But I know you have
Okay,
one.
let me cut off on this.
I know you have one.
Don't wait another 100 favorites again. Love the interaction. Thanks, Nate. That's very nice. Dune Iverson also collects knives, and he's got some awesome show pieces. That's awesome.
Nice.
TJ Nix loves the live format. That's awesome. Joe said a dumb Pixies joke. That's what it is, referencing the Breeder smash hit. So it was a joke.
Okay.
He was messing with you.
He knows. Okay.
That's
good. That's good to know.
Let's see. Much like I buy Lego and don't touch Mega Block. I don't know what that means. Parents just videos, you gotta be good brains. It's been almost 30 years since Batman '89 came out for your movie. Are you going to do some big Batman '89 video? You're my favorite YouTube channel, man. Hey, that's very nice. Yeah, I'll definitely have to do something for the 30th anniversary. We talked about that earlier in the show. That's been 30 years. This should be 30 years for Batman.
We already did an episode
We did a Batman.
on Batman.
Yeah.
And we did one for Batman Returns.
Yes.
Well, maybe you'll do something for 30.
Maybe I'll do
Batman.
something.
Maybe we'll do something.
Maybe we'll all do something. It's 30 years from that movie, so yeah, we gotta do it. We gotta do something.
We gotta do something.
Gotta do something for the 30th anniversary of Batman. We're now at an hour and a half.
We should probably wrap it up. Unless
Unless there's something else that somebody wants to chime in with right now, as we're doing this, we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay, we gotta.
So this is your 2-minute warning. If there's anything else you want to chime in with on the live stream, chime in with it now.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting hungry. It's 6:42 and I want to.
I'm sure Andy's waiting for.
Yeah.
I do want to say
His favorite X-Man is Cannonball. That's an awful favorite X-Man.
I had that figure and I
Would
was.
you have the pink version or the purple?
I had the pink version.
The pink version.
Yeah, the first one.
Okay.
Pink one was the first one, right?
Yeah, they changed it to purple afterwards. Yeah.
I thought the pink one looked better than the purple.
It was
one.
accurate, I think, to the comic at that
It
time.
was
I think it was more of a pink outfit.
It was very different.
Yeah. It was a good sculpt for the time.
It was very good. It was one of the better figures.
Yeah.
And now that I'm
But
thinking back, it's kind of a neat looking guy.
Happy New Year, Bacon.
Happy New Year to everybody.
But the stupid thing, the launching thing was
Yeah.
awful.
It was
Had this
just
little
a-
silver thing and you hit it and it was just made your figure fall down.
That's it.
It wasn't really a
You had to hit
Cannonball
it really
feature.
hard if you wanted to fly.
It would have been cool if it came with a clear shell to put around him.
They had
Like,
it
clear
was spring
orange
loaded.
one, and then it like this. and
Swing.
like, "Ah." We should work for Toyos back then.
They probably didn't have the budget.
They probably didn't have that. It was Cannonball.
That's a big.
Yeah.
We're not going to spend a lot.
We're not
on
going to spend
Cannonball.
all the money on Cannonball. We've got to work on these pop-out claws for Wolverine right now.
Yeah.
He's our selling point.
He's the one. I want to say, in all seriousness, to everybody that showed up here tonight and everybody that's been listening. Andrew Harwood Mills sent me a message the other day and was like, you know, I've been listening. He's been listening since the very first
Yep.
episode, and he remembers where he was listening to it and the day, and just
I don't.
I don't even
I
remember.
don't remember
that.
any episodes.
And I know that there are, you know, we have really so many people that have been listening this whole time, and even through all the Small Wonder episode.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys have stuck
If
with
you
us,
made it through the Gil Hibben nightmare, not Gil Hibben's fault.
Yeah.
It was our fault
if you,
entirely.
I mean, if you have stuck with us through all that, and probably just there's probably a good year where it was just depressing, where I just complained too much. I don't know. It's just I really appreciate everybody, you know, making an effort. They made an effort tonight to show up.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
We
here,
just,
which
we
is
just
nice.
had, you know, we one advertisement yesterday, and all you guys still were here, and all the support that we've had over the years.
Yeah.
And it keeps it fun, and yeah, I just really appreciate it. We both really appreciate it, and we'll keep doing it as long as we can do it.
Yeah, we don't have, it's not like, the number, you don't see the number really of how many, because it's impossible to really keep track, especially through Apple, of who's, listening and who's actually heard the show. But the ones that are really loyal and stick by it and really interact a lot, man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate seeing the posts from the same names again and again. It's like, wow, that's really cool that they've really stuck by it. And Blaze is my son, but the fact that he knows it so well, it makes me pretty proud. That he's willing to listen to it again and again, and he's around me all the time, but he still would listen to the show, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's been pretty awesome. Let's see, I want to catch up on these comments real quick here. Mr. Indie Film Man, Andrew Hermel saying Star Worlds. That's the comment, just Star Worlds.
I like that comment.
I think about Star Worlds a lot, and we have to sit down. We started doing something else. We won't say what it was. We started writing a radio drama for something else back and forth, and that's the way we do it. One of us just start it, and then we'll pass it back and forth, and we'll just write an episode, and then randomly we'll be like, okay, that's it. We'll stop right there.
Stop
that's the episode.
at a random spot.
Yeah, that's
usually,
the episode. And we started doing that with something else, but the more I think about Star Wars, I'm like, man, there's so much left
I was just thinking about that today.
that we really need to get back
I
into.
want to do another Star World. I thought about, you and I did something the other day. Some text you sent me or something. I thought about it in context of a Star World, and I was cracking up. I was just going back and forth about
I wish you could remember what it was.
I think I'll remember.
Okay.
I was just going back with Han and Luke, and I was like, this has nothing to do with Star Wars at all.
But you can hear them.
But I want to put it in an episode just because, and maybe, you know what I want to do, and I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but I want to live stream
a Star World?
video recording a Star World, and then post the edited episode. But when we were recording those, it takes us a full,
It
takes us a full hour.
It takes sometimes more than an hour
To record an 8-minute episode because of all the laughter and all the, the messing up. We're just in tears.
It's
trying to do this
so hard
to
make it through recording one of those. Like it really is an effort. Like the writing goes back and forth really easy. We get through it, the writing, no problem. But the recording, it's there. It's on the page. And just reading it out, I lose it. And you lose it. And there's so many things that, like the one episode where the R2 noises, where you had an R2 effect on your phone, and R2 was supposed to have this little short segment, and it just kept going. And you can hear us start to laugh, and we're both going like, just let it go, as the whole thing's going. And it turned into one of my favorite things we've ever done.
So funny.
And that would have been great to see that live stream.
That's what I'm saying. I'd like to maybe share behind the scenes of making it, and all the sound effects stuff that we have to do to make it. So
yeah, it's
I love Star Worlds. I as silly as it is, I'm very proud of.
Me too.
Of them because
I think we do. I go back and listen to them, and it's just me and you. Doing all the effects as it's happening. Which aren't they great, but they're doing as it's happening, and all the voices.
I think they're pretty darn good.
Yeah, we do all the voices right there. There's no editing, like it's just, that's it. It's just right there.
Well, we did get to where we were taking a segment that was good for as long until we messed up.
That's true. But
the first couple we did.
But what I'm saying is,
we did from
it's
beginning
full
to
stream.
end,
But when we switch back and forth between voices, there's none of that. Like we don't record like one voice. And then go and record the other voice. It's just us having to flip back and forth between voices.
And you've taken the lion's share of the voice work, I think, because you're doing several of them, and some of those you have to do back to back, and it is a tough switch.
It's tough. It's sometimes tough, and then also you'll have to do an effect while I'm doing music, and then you're having to do a voice line while you're doing the effect, and it's tough actually.
I've got some juggling to do.
It may sound like it's garbage, but it's really hard to do one.
And I know they don't make sense, but
they don't make any sense.
That's the humor.
That's the greatness of it. Man, I really want to do Star Wars again. Let me catch up on these really quick, and we're going to sign it off. You guys rock. I can tune in this regularly, not to mention the Batman site reviews. I can put on Batman. Bye. See you, Doom Doomerson. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
I've been watching since I'm 14, now I'm 16. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Timbo. Iron Bison's gonna go grab some grub. Happy New Year's. Thanks, dude. Andrew Hardmill says we both used to sing more. Hey,
That's true.
we'll get back into it.
We
We have wonderful singing.
I gotta warm up these pipes. I gotta get some honey.
Didn't we did the Perfect Strangers thing.
Yeah.
We did DuckTales. I think we did a few
DuckTales.
other ones. I feel like I hang out with my friends when I listen. That's awesome. That's the vibe.
That's
hope
how
for.
we want it to be.
And he says he's really enjoyed the intro outro music over the years. That's awesome. I have nothing to do with that. That's all Mike.
I appreciate
I have nothing to do with any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And Joe, in all caps, more Star Wars. All right, we got to do Star Wars again.
We gotta
I got to re-listen to them.
Yeah.
And get back in the mindset of
We
how
did them out of
ridiculous
order,
it
so
is.
I'm sure we gotta
We got to plug in pieces.
pick
'cause
what segments we did.
That's the goal, is that you have all the episodes at one point.
Right.
And it won't make any sense when you listen to it all in a row, but they'll be all in a row. You know? That's the goal, is to eventually have all the episodes for every film in a row. And when you listen back to it, it'll just be a nightmare.
It's whatever you feel at the time and whatever you can remember from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the best. And
That's
there's
so
sometimes where we've started it on like episode 2, and there's so much you have to cram in episode 1 now to go back and do it. But we don't care. We just lean over it like, and then he went here, and they came back, and that's it. You know? Entire space battles.
They had a giant battle.
Like when Han had to navigate the asteroid field,
Yeah.
and they said it's impossible. And he just says, "Because I just did
But I
it."
just did it. What, from point A to point B in light speed.
That's great.
446.
He did it because I just did. Bill Tackett says more Sulu complaints. Those are always great.
I love Sulu complaints.
I want
too.
more Jor-El ads.
Yeah.
We recorded a bunch of them, and I think they're gone. I don't think we ever used them all.
Well, the disc got lost. I think we only did it like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I remember we both wrote a bunch, and I think I recorded them. I think I was doing Jor-El.
Yeah,
And
you
I
were
recorded a
you
bunch
recorded.
all in a row. We were going to insert them in multiple episodes.
That was back in the Dell days, and we had that background music going. We could do it again.
We can do it
easily.
again. We can bring back the Jor-El ads.
Yeah.
Joe's been listening to Action Feature since 1998, so to speak, which is very
That's
true.
his-
Joe and I have
yes.
been friends for 20 years. More Night Dads.
Hey.
That episode was great.
I love Night
People
Dads, too.
actually thought Night Dads was a real thing.
And it could have been.
It could have been.
And it still can be.
It still can be.
Yeah.
We can record a Night Dads episode.
I thought about
We can do a
doing.
Night Dads radio drama.
I thought about doing a Night Dads radio drama. I don't know what it would take to film one.
It'd be
but
possible to film one.
It'd be possible.
It'd be impossible.
No. I don't like that word.
Okay,
It would be possible.
to film one if we had a bunch of money.
2 cameras, a little help from our friends, and a night of
Dads.
wild
Dads.
entertainment. It would have to be at night. We're not gonna be able to
It would
film,
be.
film during the day.
All right. Wow, this is a long one now. Hour and 40 minutes.
All right.
People kind of chiming in though, so
I love it though.
gotta leave it be. Okay, so we're gonna sign off, right?
Yep.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm pointing at you. Right now I'm pointing at you. I can see myself do it if I wait a second.
Don't wait that long.
There it is. Okay. Thank you guys. If you're listening to this on audio, if you're listening on iTunes or on actionfeatures.net, thank you for listening. We really appreciate everybody. 150 episodes. We'll just keep doing these.
We'll do 150 more.
We're just going to keep doing these. It's never going to stop. We're just going to keep doing these. So, hope you like them, because it's not going to stop.
It's not gonna stop. We've proven that we don't need cash to do a radio show.
All right. So there's the audio. This is still live streaming though. So now you can see the part that's boring. You can just leave it if you want.
I don't want to leave it.
Oh, now people are gonna see it upside down.
It's none of their business. Wait. Reorientation is locked.
Hang on, I'll come around.
That's it. No wait.
You want to keep it. Don't lose it. Let's see what this says.
Doesn't do anything. I just hit stop.
Rotate. No, you didn't hit stop. It's still going.
That's cool.
Is it still going?
People don't want to see
All
how
right,
sausage is
hang on.
made. Yeah.
There.